Scar, I love you, but our love will never see the light unless you get rid of Mufasa and kill him. We must eliminate him.
Soon, my love. Soon it will all be over. The throne will be mine alone, and I will announce before everyone that you are my queen.
Did Scar truly love Sarabi, or did he see her merely as a means to gain power? His interest in her was shrouded in deep mystery, and his pursuit of her heart was nothing more than a piece of a larger, more ruthless game. In his world, where conflict and schemes reigned supreme, personal desires intertwined with boundless ambitions, and emotions fused with self-interest in a way that was nearly impossible to untangle. But the real question is, was Scar searching for a love he never had? Or was it just an insatiable thirst for revenge? Or was everything in his pursuit just a deception? One more desperate attempt to extend his control over everyone, even over Sarabi's heart. When he asked her to stand by his side as queen, he never expected her rejection to be so absolute. The disdain in her eyes was sharper than any words she could have spoken. He saw her defy him in a way no one had dared before, as if she was reminding him that no matter how much power he wielded, he would always be nothing more than a traitorous usurper in her eyes. She wasn't just a woman he desired. She was a symbol of everything he could never truly possess. "You are not even half the king Mufasa was," she told him, and Scar knew instantly that her words were not just an insult, but a brutal wound that reignited all the feelings of inadequacy that had haunted him his entire life. But was Scar even capable of love? How could someone who had always lived in the shadow of a stronger, better, and more beloved brother ever know what love truly was? His world was built on hatred, jealousy, and an endless struggle to prove himself. To him, everything was a tool, every relationship a means to an end, and every emotion merely a string to be pulled to achieve his dark ambitions. Sarabi was just another piece in his twisted game of chess, an extension of the power he sought to solidify. Not because she meant anything to him, but because she had belonged to Mufasa. Scar wanted to take everything his brother had, to feel, just for a moment, that he was superior, even if it meant claiming the heart of a woman who would never love him. But even at the height of his reign, he realized there was one thing he could never truly possess: Sarabi's loyalty. She was there, standing before him, her body present, but her soul untouchable. He saw in her a defiance he could not break, and with every rejection, his fury grew, not just toward her, but toward himself. Scar could not bear failure, and even in victory, Mufasa's presence loomed over him like an inescapable shadow. He began to contemplate darker ways to dispose of her, not just because she defied him, but because she reminded him of a painful truth, that no matter what he did, he was never a true king, never as strong as he wished to be. Perhaps he thought starving her would make her submit, or that forcing her to endure the kingdom's ruin would break her will. But he was wrong. Sarabi was not a woman who could be broken. Did Scar ever have a moment of weakness? A fleeting second where he looked at her not as an enemy, but as something else? Perhaps. On a cold, lonely night, as he stood atop his rocky throne, gazing down at the barren wasteland that had become his kingdom. Maybe, just maybe, he asked himself, what if things had been different? What if he had never lived in Mufasa's shadow? Would his life have taken another path? But just as quickly as those thoughts crept in, he cast them away, just as he had done with every sign of weakness before. There was no room for such thoughts. Power was the only thing that mattered. Scar's greatest betrayal was not just seizing the throne. It was the moment he lured his brother into a deadly trap, leading to his tragic death beneath the stampede of a raging herd. That moment was not just a turning point. It was the final piece of humanity stripped away from him. Yet, even that was not enough. He took his evil further, manipulating young Simba, making him believe his father's death was his fault. It was the ultimate betrayal, the final proof that Scar would do anything to rule without challenge. His obsession with Sarabi was nothing more than an extension of this thirst for power,